Good morning, boys. I'll do a troop count. I think the board is accurate, so we'll go from left to right. Central United States, 1 infantry, 3 mechs, 1 tank. Eastern United States, 1 infantry, 2 AA, and 1 artillery. Season 101, carrier with 2 fighters, a cruiser, a destroyer, a transport. Season 106, a British destroyer and transport. There's also an infantry and an artillery in Quebec. And let's see, British Guiana, 1 infantry, 1 tank, 1 transport in 88. There is a Russian sub in 118. In London, there is 1 French fighter, 2 French infantry, and the following are British: 4 fighters, 1 mech, 4 AA guns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry. That's not right. You just bought a bunch. So, okay, I think I owe you a 5 chip. I think that's what's going on here. Should be 10 infantry, I believe. Yeah, that should be right. And let's see, Morocco, 1 French infantry, Algeria, 1 French infantry, Tunisia, 1 French infantry. Now, if you guys made a move different from that, let me know, but there was some confusion about France. I just assumed you're moving to French West Africa and from Syria to Jordan. The Italians have 4 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 tank, and 1 mech in Tobruk. The British in Malta have 1 infantry, 1 AA, 1 bomber, 1 TAC, and 2 fighters. In Egypt, there's a tank, 2 infantry, 2 artillery, and 2 Anzac infantry. There's a British destroyer and a French destroyer in Season 81. There is an infantry and an artillery in Kenya for Italy. There are 2 infantry in South Africa. There's a transport and a cruiser in 76. There's a transport in 80. There are 3 infantry in Persia and 1 infantry in Eastern Persia. The Russians have 1 infantry in Caucasus. They have 1 infantry, 1 mech, 1 tank in Rostov. They have 4 infantry, 2 artillery in Ukraine. Western Ukraine, they have 6 infantry, 2 artillery. Eastern Poland, 1 infantry. Baltic States, 1 infantry, a sub in 115, a cruiser in 114. In Novgorod, they have 5 infantry and an artillery. Belarus, they have 9 infantry and 2 AA guns. Bryansk, 9 infantry, a tank, and a mech. In Russia, there are 3 fighters, 1 TAC, 2 AA, 1 artillery, 1 mech, 6 infantry. They have an infantry in Caucasus, 4 infantry in Yakut, went to Yenisei, and 2 stayed in Yakut, I believe. We have 12 infantry and 2 artillery, AA pieces in Sakha. The Germans have a cruiser, a destroyer, a sub, and a transport in 112, 1 infantry in Norway, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry and an AA gun in Finland, 3 artillery in Normandy. The Italians have 2 artillery, 1 infantry, 1 AA gun in southern France, a sub in 93, an AA gun in Yugoslavia. They have a cruiser, a destroyer, and a transport in 97. In London, there are 3, 4, 5 infantry, 2 AA, 2 Italian fighters, 1 Italian bomber. The Germans have 1 fighter and 2 Strat bombers in Rome as well. And let's see. Go up to Western, where we have 2 AA guns, 5 TACs, 3 fighters. In Berlin, there are 13 tanks, 4 mechs, 1 AA gun. In Poland, we have 16 infantry, 3 tanks, 2 AA guns, and 9 artillery. Romania, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 infantry, 2 artillery. La 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 la. That should be it for that side of the board. I'm not sure if I remember. There's a Russian sub in 118. Now we'll get over to this side. Kansu, China, 2 infantry. Sensi, 1 infantry. Sichuan, 6, 7, 8, 9 infantry and a fighter. In Yunnan, there's 1 infantry. And again, there's 1 infantry in Sensi. Now we'll go to the British. 2 fighters, 1 TAC. In India, as well as 2 artillery, 1 tank, 1 infantry. as a destroyer in Seazone 39. 3 AA guns, 6 infantry in Burma, 1 British infantry in Shan State, 3 British infantry in Malaya with 1 Anzac. Japanese have 2 infantry in Siam. Hunan, the Japanese have 3 infantry, 1 artillery. In Kwangsi, 2 strap bombers, 3 tactical bombers, 5 fighters. Out to sea in 36, there's 2 battleships, 2 carriers, 2 fighters, 2 tanks, 2 cruisers, 3 destroyers, 2 subs. In Seazone 20, the Japanese have a carrier, a tactical bomber, a fighter, and a destroyer. In 19, they have 2 transports. In Shanghai, they have 1 fighter. In Anhui, they have 6 infantry, 2 artillery. Chahar, 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 mech. Jahal, 5, 6, 7 infantry, 1 tank, 1 artillery. Manchuria, 4 infantry, 1 AA, 1 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 fighters, 2 tanks. Korea, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Japan, 3 AA guns, 6 infantry. In Seazone 6, there are 3 transports. Palau Islands, the Japanese have 1 infantry, Caroline 2 infantry, and 1 AA gun. The Americans have 2 infantry in Philippines, 1 fighter in Guam, 1 sub in 23. And the Americans have a destroyer in 48. The Anzac have taken Java with 2 infantry, so there's a transport by itself there. In Queensland, they have 3 fighters, 1 artillery, 2 AA, 3 infantry. South Wales, they have 1 infantry. There's a transport in 62, a Anzac destroyer and cruiser in 54, as well as the British battleship. Still 1 infantry in New Zealand. Now we'll come up here to the Americans. They have 3 fighters on Hawaii, as well as 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 strap bomber. Out to sea, they have a sub, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers, 1 battleship, 1 carrier with a fighter and a tack. Up in 10, they have a empty carrier with a transport. In Western, they have 1 infantry, 1 mech, and 2 AA guns. I believe is the whole deal. Anyway, any discrepancies, bring them to my attention.